Hey y'all, it's Caroline. Welcome back to the Socially Different YouTube channel. So I have not been up here in a while, but I want to share an encounter that I had with God in 2019. And maybe someone has had this same experience. So we can just talk about it. We can just have a conversation. So I'm going to get right into it. So I'm going to talk about the time that I heard God's voice audibly. Yes, I've heard God's voice audibly. And I want to share this because some people may be in doubt or fear or wondering did they hear God correctly, or don't want to share their story because of shame or feeling like they're crazy. But we know with God, things ain't logical and anything can happen. So back in 2019, God had put it on my heart heavily to leave corporate America. So there was many signs. Like when I would go to work, I would, deal with anxiety, really heavy, hyperventilating. It was like God was making the place that I was comfortable at uncomfortable so that he could push me into my purpose, into my calling. And that's why I'm here today. Honestly, I thank God. But, so that week, it was the week of December 19th, 2019. And it's 2019 or 2019? Yeah, 2019. What am I talking about? So, he was that week of December 19th. My dad had told me, he was like, hey, I'm going to get you a timeshare. So my dad lives in Birmingham. I'm in Virginia. His timeshare was running out. That's crazy that it was running out around that time. He said, I'm going to get you a room. He didn't know that I was leaving my job. My mom didn't know I was leaving my job. My other family, sisters, brothers, they didn't know that I was leaving my job because I didn't tell anybody, because I didn't want anybody to rain on my parade. I didn't want anybody to rain on my faith. I had so much trust, hope, and belief in God that he was telling me the right thing and I was going to follow. I felt it in my soul. I felt it in my spirit, and I was going to answer the call. And I didn't need nobody trying to tell me anything else other than what God said, right? So God gave me that timeshare, and it was one day that I was in the room, and it was late at night. I usually go to sleep late, maybe 1 or 2, and wrapping up my hair, and my son's on the bed, and my boyfriend at the time was there as well, and on the bed with my son. And I turn around and I hear Caroline. It's y'all, she playing, but no. It was such a strong, authoritative voice. It was a voice of authority, but it also a voice that made you feel calm, made you feel a peace, and made you feel a certainty, right? So as I turn around and I hear, I kind of kneel down in bed, and I'm asking my boyfriend at the time. He's knocked out sleep with my son, and he's like, no, I didn't call you, because I'm like, somebody had to call me because I'm in this room by myself. So I knew right then that it was God calling me, just like he did with Samuel. We see things that happen in the Bible. He's the same God that he was back then that he is today. And it's not crazy. It's not impossible, because God can do what he want to do. And he can speak to us in any way that he wants to speak to us, through his word, through something that we see on a box, through nature, through someone else. God can speak to you any way that he want to speak to you. It's just that we got to be willing, open to receive and accept, and not doubt when God was speaking to us. So in that moment, I just knew that it was my Father speaking to me. So at that moment, I'm like, okay, God, did you call me? But I knew why he was calling me, because I forgot to mention before, that week I was leaving my job, I knew for certain that was what I was supposed to be doing. But I'm still how we are. God, give me another sign, give me another confirmation. I want to know, is this really you, or this is just me moving out my emotions, moving out what I want to do? So God gave me that confirmation, and it was exactly what I needed. But then that night, I go on Google, and I'm like, God calling my name, because I want to know, are people, have people had these experiences? And I have so many stories of people saying that they heard God call their name, and that just kind of put me at ease, because okay, I know I ain't crazy. I know I heard you call me, God. So when God had called me at that time, I was thinking, okay, God is calling me into full-time entrepreneurship. I'm going to be an entrepreneur, which I am, which I did. But what I did not know was that God was calling me also to be a vessel for him and to step out into ministry. I didn't really start ministry until 2022. So between that year of 2019 and 2022, God had to refine me, strip me. I was in my word. He had, me realize like why I could never get along with people. When I was younger, or why people necessarily didn't like me, or why I never could fit in with the crowd. So he started to reveal all of these things to me, and I'm like, okay, God, this is why you were doing what you were doing my whole life to get me to this point. And then I started ministry in 2022 and just being a vessel for God and speaking his word and talking about his glory and things like that. But I want to say that many are called and few are chosen, and the ones that are chosen are the ones that are going to answer the call. The ones that are chosen are the ones that are going to give the yes. The ones that are chosen are the ones that are going to be obedient to God's will and his way and do what it is that he requires of us, not our will, but your will, God. And I just want to say that if God has called you, it may not even be an audible voice, but if you know that God has called you for such a time as this, answer the call and be obedient. Because like I said, I didn't even know that it was for ministry at first. I thought, okay, I'm gonna be an entrepreneur. He done changed my whole business around since then. Like I said, it's 2019, now it's 2024. But he orders the steps of a righteous man when he delights in our ways. And when you take that first step, that's when God will start to show you that staircase. And it may not be instantly. Like I said, I didn't really realize the call on my life until 2022. But I just want to encourage you to keep trusting, keep believing God. And when he calls you, just know that he has equipped you. And he does not call the qualified, but he qualifies the call, right? So I just want you to trust God and know that whatever he is calling you to do, he has equipped you. He has already put it inside you. It's already sealed. It's not by might, not by power, but by his spirit. And I need you. People need you to go forth because there's something that you have for this world, or there's something that you have for just specific people that God has called you to. So I just wanted to encourage you, and also share your story. Like, you're not crazy if God has called you in an audible voice. You heard him. You know that was your father. And if that's your testimony, if that's your story, don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to share your story. But I thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk, and I'll see you guys soon.